Hi everybody, Don Singletary. I'm here to tell you more about day trading the new micro-sized E-mini futures. It's perfect for home investors and rapidly becoming one of America's favorite side hustles. So stand by, we'll have a live trade of the week plus details on how you can begin trading the micro E-minis. Less than 2 years ago, the Chicago Merc Exchange changed the way home investors can invest. Not everyone. This is a risky type of investing, but the opportunity, it gives you a real chance to take a little amount of money and make a lot larger amount of money. There have been over 600 million of the new micro contracts traded since they were introduced in May of 2019. 600 million of them have been traded. As many as 5 or 6 million a day is a regular occurrence. It's one of America's new side hustles to be able to day trade and to enter in and out of the stock market. And these new micro E-mini stock index futures allow you to trade at an affordable rate. It used to take $50 a point. You could jump into a trade trying to learn how to do it, and in seconds sometimes you were up or down $200 or $300. Now the regular home investor with a smaller account, by smaller I mean not tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars, but something a lot more realistic. Home investors now can start with a small amount of money and be able to trade these new micro E-minis, and they only trade for $5, $2.50 a point on one of the 4 micro E-minis. They vary in size. I hope you'll join our more than 8,000 subscribers, and we have over 70 free videos here on the channel. Now, if you don't know anything at all about trading futures or trading micro futures in particular and day trading them, I've got you covered. We have 2 playlists that are strictly for beginners. The links are below in the text below this video, and there are 4 10-minute videos, and there are 2 of those lists, and they're absolutely free. Trade of the week in this video today is going to be the Russell 2000, the least volatile of the 4 micro E-minis. It trades for $5 a point, and it has 2,000 small cap stocks in it. And that's the reason it's less volatile, because it has so many stocks, as opposed to 100 in the NASDAQ, 30 in the Dow Jones average, and 500 in the S&P500, so named. Let me give you the trade setup here. The market started off at 9:30, went up all the way until 11 o'clock, and you can see from 11 until almost 2 o'clock, the prices pretty much leveled out. But at that same time, look in the lower pane there, green line below the red line, momentum sinking, and almost at the 0 line. And that could mean a price directional change. So that's the trade I'm making. I click the left mouse button, it creates a sell order. I review it, get my confirmation, and I look on the position screen. I'm $3 down, and now to the fun part. I'm going to enter a bracket order. Bracket orders have 3 parts: the trade, the stop, and the profit. First, I'm going to do the stop loss. You recall I'm short 1 contract at 21.8160, so my stop loss is going to be at a price above that at 21.85. Now, my Tastyworks program computes I have a maximum loss now of $17 on this trade, and I can change that anytime I want. And the last part of the bracket order is the close at profit, or the target price. Initially, I put in 21.65, and then I decided I would lower that a little bit to 21.55, and $133 possible profit. That may be a little ambitious for this trade. We'll see. So let's see the work of our OCO order. The one cancels the other bracket order, known as. The stop is 21.85, $17 away, the max loss on the trade possible. The short price, 21.8160, and you see our target price down below at 21.55. Been in the trade for a couple of minutes now, and remember in the trade setup a moment ago, see those lines in the MACD, the green line below the red line, and I'm counting on them crossing below the 0 line and prices going down, which is why I shorted a contract for this trade. Now, one thing about this trade, it's the time of day we put the trade on here is 1:52. It's just 2 minutes later now, and you see right up here there's not a lot of volatility happening. So I'm taking a calculated risk. Now, with volatility low, the good news is that I probably won't lose a lot of money real fast, and the bad news is I probably won't make a lot of money real fast. Volatility kind of sets that tone, and it changes all throughout the day. Now, I've just advanced a 5-minute segment there, and the green line went below the zero line, so maybe I'll get a chance to see prices go down just a little bit here in this trade and make a couple of bucks. I'm still almost even money, 21.81. I go up 6 minutes in time now. The trade started at 152. It's 158. And I'm going to lower my stop from 21.85. And did I just do that? Lower that stop to 21.84, only 1 point? That's $5. You bet I did. I don't want to give it back. In a bigger trade, it might have been $50 or $500. You want to get the right habits as you're going through this. 2178.2 is where we're trading now, and I decide to get that stop and bring it down a little bit more. And this time, I went down to 2181.40, so I'm going to just call that dead even here. So it's a break-even trade, worst-case scenario now. And my number one challenge now is to try to move that stop down if this price goes down some more and to capture some more profit. And time clicks by here, a couple of minutes later, 2:01. I'm in the trade 9 minutes, and I'm in a real dilemma here. I'm operating very close to that stop up there, but I want to bring it on down some more because this trade could turn on me any second now. So I decide to ever so carefully squeak that thing down from 2179.50, and I can't quite decide where to go here. I'm in a little bit of a dilemma. 2177.80 is where it lands. So now I've locked in $18 to $20 profit. I'm trading down around 21.75, and it's going to give me unrealized gain at the moment somewhere between $28 and $33. And I remember I've locked in at 2177.80, somewhere probably around $18 or $20 on this trade. So now I've pretty much set the trap, and I've got to wait and see what happens. And if you're a beginner and don't know it yet, you're always second-guessing yourself. And as I say in many of the videos on the channel, this type of trading is always about making a trading decision before you have the perfect information. That's what you signed up for. There we go. We're stopped out of the trade. Let's do the tally here. Duration of a trade, 10 minutes, profit $18. I wish it had been more. You see the maximum unrealized gain actually went up to $33, but I captured about 54% of it. And the maximum drawdown was under $10. So it wasn't a very stressful trade, but it took a little work to make any money at all out of it. In case you didn't know, you're a beginner. It's a little more risky to guess a change in direction than it is to ride a current trend. And that's what I was trying to do this time. I saw those lines trying to cross over the zero line down there, and decided to take a gamble that it might work out. It worked, not great, but it was a good trade. Okay, now we're going to talk some trade psychology, have a little fun. The trade was 10 minutes long. The candlesticks are 5 minutes wide. So right here, that entire trade took place in these two candlesticks. And I shorted at 21.81. And you can see by this chart, 15 minutes after the trade, the price had already gone back to 21.84. And remember, I closed the trade down at 21.78. Now I ask you, am I that good? No, I'm just lucky. I hope you'll join the thousands of people who have purchased and read my book that's an introduction to futures trading. Even if you know nothing at all about it, this is the book. It's a starting place to make learning faster and easier. Your consideration is really appreciated. Thank you. One of the most frequently asked questions I get is from viewers in email is, how do I know which of the 4 Micro E-minis to trade, and when do I know to trade them? And how many trades do I need to be thinking about doing in a day or in an hour or in a week? They're all great questions, very important questions. I'm going to try to give some answers for those right now with the hope that it might help. A couple times a week I get an email or a comment from someone saying, did you see that trade last Wednesday at 10:23? Did you do that trade? Well, I'm flattered somebody would think I'm that omnipotent that I spend 24 hours a day with my nose on the computer screen. But the truth is, if I did that, I would go nuts. So I'm going to show you what happens when I just join in the middle of a day. I haven't been here all morning. It's 11:45 on the 31st of March. And I see the Russell 2K. I'm going to look at all four of the micros here is what I'm doing. Russell 2K is first. It's after 2 hours, from 9:30 till 11:30. It's right where it opened, so it's going nowhere. It went up, ranged for a little while, came back down. And you take a look at the height of the candlesticks. This gives you some idea of the volatility. And there's not a lot of volatility in the market with such no trend that I see there, so I don't see a trade there. Now I flip over, same time, same day, of course, to the Dow Jones Industrial Average Micro E-mini. It opens at 9:30, goes up, then rather gets weak and trails off for a while, and then from about 11 o'clock on out to 11:45, the market's right back where it was when it opened at 9:30. So I see these lines weaving in and out of each other in the bottom there, and that means I don't see, they're also near the zero line, so I don't see any strength in momentum, and I don't see any particular direction. So again, no trend, no direction, no trade. And now we'll flip over to the next one here and try to do them all for you on the same day. So far, I don't see anything to trade, and I've got to see something that's going to draw me in, something that gives me an idea that I can find a trend to get onto. 9:30 in the morning, the S&P opened and went up, a nice uptrend, but it's not really a strong trend. You can see it goes up a few times and levels off and goes back up and levels off. And though it is up for the day, so there you go. But again, look at the MACD lines below. They're in and out of each other. They're weaving in and out, that green and red line down there. And when that happens, the MACD is just telling you very plainly there's no real directional strong trend in the market. Now flip over to the NASDAQ100. Not surprisingly, it's about the same as the others. It goes up. It flattens out for a while, goes up again. You can see the blue line there for the last couple of hours. Well, not a couple of hours, but the last hour. There's no real trend there, but the momentum's going down. And again, this is not a time I would want to short this contract. And I don't see anything telling me that it's on the way up, not in any big way anyway, because the momentum has been falling for an hour and a half here. I just wanted you to see what some traders might see when they turn on the screen and they look for trades. And what you may not realize is that 90% of the time when we're looking at these trades, we don't find any trades. They're just not trades there all the time. It's somewhat mythical that these guys can schedule live trading sessions and always find a trade in a live market, but I suppose I'm a little more selective about my trades. I would urge you to be. I know it's hard to get all dressed up and have nowhere to go because you've got your account open, you've got it funded, you've watched the videos, you're ready to practice, you're ready to trade. And then most of the time, you're not going to find a trade. And actually, that's pretty good advice. So I would urge you to think about it. I need your help on something. Please hit the like button if you want to see more videos like the one you saw today. That's what I use the like button for. It helps me make the videos that you want to see. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for being along today. I'm Don Singletary. I hope every day is a payday for you. And thank you.